Hey guys, Ryan with Industry Threadworks here. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about business formation, not the specifics of it, but the very basic question that everybody has in the beginning is you're going to start a business, maybe by yourself or with your friends. What type of business do you want to start? Meaning the entity, right? So when you register with whatever state you're in, you have to register for what type of entity it is, whether that's an S Corp, a C Corp, an LLC, a sole proprietorship, any of that stuff. Now, there are a lot of options with it. For an apparel brand, it's super simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Go with an LLC. I could go on and on about the reasons why an S Corp, a C Corp, all that stuff. And transparency, my company, Industry Threadworks, and Archive Fulfillment, which are our fulfillment company here, are both S Corps. But that's because they're a little bit more advanced and we have a tax structure that works with both of them. That's a much more complicated operation. So I don't recommend that for most apparel brands. You can build an apparel brand really big just on an LLC, and you don't have to overcomplicate it. Like Affliction. You guys remember that brand Affliction? Got to like $100 million brand. That was an LLC. So you don't need to overthink it. Just go with an LLC. Another basic consideration that a lot of people think they want to get fancy with it. Oh, I'm going to start a company in Delaware for taxes and I'm going to do this tax shelter here. Trust me, I've had all my companies in California and they're going to get their money one way or the other. So it just is overburdensome with the complications of trying to start a company in another state to try to evade some taxes on money that you hopefully may or may not make in the future. It is way, way easier to just start out an LLC in the company, starting the LLC in the state that you are in. Keep it simple. Once you get into business, there are a bunch of tax considerations that you can use to move your money around and that the tax considerations are a whole other thing. Don't start your company based on thinking that you're gonna thwart some tax stuff. It's not worth it. I freaking promise. So basic, start an LLC in whatever state you're in. Some other considerations of that, when you start it, you can go to a lawyer to do it if you want. I started my first company, Forge Clothing, with Mikey Sellers, and we paid a lawyer $5,000 in 2007 to start it, and it was a complete waste of time. And funny story, after we were done, he said, "Hey, you guys want some beers?" And we should on the bill at the end of the thing, he charged us for the 2 beers that he gave us as congratulatory beers. So anyway, you don't need an attorney to do this. It's super easy. I've used LegalZoom.com to start most of my businesses now. It's extremely simple. You just go on there, click a few buttons. It'll ask you some questions. You just answer those questions honestly, and it'll spit out what you need. It's also going to try to upsell you on a ton of stuff that you don't need. So be vigilant on that. Only click the stuff that you need, which is the basics. The other thing that is useful to go, and that you can probably get through LegalZoom.com, is your business license and your reseller's permit. So your business license is your license to operate in whatever state that you're in. Sometimes LegalZoom can do it depending on the state. Sometimes they can't. If they can't do it, it's also super easy. Just go down to your county courthouse, tell them, hey, I'm starting an apparel brand. I don't know what I'm doing. How do I get a business license? They will help you. They're very helpful because they want to collect your money. So don't worry about it. If LegalZoom has that option, click it. It's one and done. They're going to upcharge it maybe 40 or 50 bucks. Don't sweat it. It's not worth the time. The other thing is a reseller's permit. So you're going to need this as an apparel brand because the way that resellers permit work in every state is the only person who should pay taxes on the finished product is the end user. So a t-shirt, the person who buys the blank. So even a blank manufacturer, when they buy the material, they don't pay taxes on the material. When you buy it, when the manufacturer, the print shop you use, buys the blanks, they don't pay taxes on the blank. When you buy the finished garment from the manufacturer, you should not pay taxes on that garment. The only way that the print shop will be allowed to sell you that garment without taxes is if you have your reseller's permit. If you don't have your reseller's permit, they're going to have to add on the sales tax for whatever state you're in because they're legally required to. Because if you don't account for that on your own, they are responsible for the taxes on it for whoever doesn't have a reseller's permit. So super easy. If LegalZoom has the option of allowing you to get your reseller's permit through them, just go ahead and do it. You'll pay a little bit of upcharge, but it is well worth the hassle or not having to deal with the hassle and just have them do it. If you don't do that, again, it's super easy. Just go down to your county courthouse, tell them, hey, I need a reseller's permit for my apparel brand. They will walk you through it and give you one. I think it's like 45 bucks or 100 bucks or something like that. But you have to do this. It's going to save you so much time. And it's one of those things like it's not optional. The other the other way to do this, if you don't want to spend the money starting an LLC just yet, you can run it as a sole prop, meaning a sole proprietorship. So that's an option where it's just under your name and you'll do your name. And California, they call it a fictitious business name, a, also known as a DBA, doing business as. And that's where you'll have the name of your apparel brand. So you do that, and then you can get a reseller's permit for that. Because in California, an LLC is $800 a year. Another thing to note, I don't know if other states are like this, but when you start your LLC, if you start it in October, because they charge you every January. So if you start in October, you're going to pay $800 in October for that year and another $800 in January for the next year. So start your LLC in January, save yourself some money. If you want to run it as a sole proprietorship, in the meantime, you can get everything set up and then switch it over to the LLC once you have that paperwork. So once you have the LLC paperwork, they're going to give you an EIN, employee identification number, or federal FEIN, so depending on who's talking to you. So federal employee identification number. That's what you're going to take to the bank. So you got to go to the bank and open up a checking account under that EIN. So that's going to be your business bank account. So it's very important you don't commingle your personal funds with your business funds. In fact, I bank at my personal bank is completely different than my business bank. My personal bank is Wells Fargo. My business bank is Chase. It keeps things way simplified, way easier. And Chase is a business bank, so they're used to that kind of stuff. So you have a concierge that'll walk you through the process. They'll give you some loan options. They'll give you some credit card options. They know how that deal is because they specialize in it. So definitely run your business through a business bank. I tried one time getting it done at Wells Fargo, and it was just a nightmare. They're just not set up for business banks at all. Maybe other people have different experiences of that, but I was not gonna run with that. But either way, when you set up your LLC, you're gonna need to get a business bank account using that EIN. It might take a couple days to a couple weeks to get your EIN from LegalZoom or wherever you get it from. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your planning for, your drops and all this stuff. Um, anyway, hope that helps. That's business formation and a little bit about business banking. There's a whole other, I mean, we go way deep on that, but I just want to give you guys as much information as possible to get started, get moving. And then from there, you can always change things to specialize things as you get later. And we also have a Facebook group, Industry Threadworks Facebook group, where you can come in, talk with other brand owners, talk with me personally, and we're going to give you as much information for fucking free. Just go use it. Our whole goal of this, I want to give you as much information as possible so you can go out and execute and build the brand and your business of your dreams and get that connection with the consumer and bring your vision to light. Hopefully, if you want to use us for production, that's what we're here for, or fulfillment, we got you covered. Anyway, go get it.